Good evening, friends. We are live again. It's day 14. We've now gone live 14 days in a row. Today makes day 14. Hard to imagine. Started out 14 days ago, just with an idea that we would go live for 100 days. Started out as a thought of, hey, the president is starting out his first 100 days. Although this is not a live stream about politics, we are tagging along with the first 100 days of Joe Biden's presidency. And again, rest assured, we're not going to be talking about politics here, but we are going to talk about how to grow your business, how to grow your influence, your impact, and your income online primarily. Want to talk about that. But I think most of you watching, if you own a business, you likely have a more traditional business, a brick and mortar type business of some sort. Maybe you're a woodworker, maybe you're a welder, contractor of some sort. Maybe you own a restaurant. Maybe you're a lawyer. Maybe you're an accountant. Maybe you don't own your own business, but you would like to. So hopefully we're speaking to everyone in those categories. If it's something you have in your mind that you want to do, then a lot of the things that we'll talk about are things that, in my mind, you would want to be thinking about, considering, and what better way to do that than to be thinking about those before you actually get started. So, like every night before tonight, I'll encourage you in two ways. One of those is start a YouTube channel, and we're going to talk about that in a lot of detail tonight. When I say in a lot of detail, we'll go about 30 minutes like we have gone, and there'll be more to say, no doubt, but we've got, 86 more days to go. So we'll get there. But I encourage you to start a YouTube channel. If you don't have one, I encourage you to find time to spend on a YouTube channel if you already do have one. I think regardless of what type of business you are either in or want to be in, that you should go ahead and create a YouTube channel. Start out with it just being your name. You can always change it later, but you may find that you want to keep it that way as a personal brand. I've talked about this multiple nights. With a personal brand, you have the flexibility to ebb and flow with where you're at any season in your life with regards to what kind of business you may have, all those types of things. And you don't start out at zero again when you decide to go from, let's say, real estate agent to a restaurant owner. Maybe you're not doing both anymore. Maybe you are doing both. If you're doing both, you can have your personal brand and deal with it that way. So I'm going to kind of talk or use the style tonight of asking some questions and then talking about those and why I would ask them. But before I do that, I almost forgot the second item that I've been encouraging people to do is to start an email list, one that you can actually manage, one that you can actually use in a manner that would help you grow your business, stay in contact with your clients, potential clients, that type of thing. And tonight, I have been using an overlay on my videos, but I think I've decided to not use that. But in the description is the link for ConvertKit. You can use that to get a free account to manage up to 1,000 subscribers. I'm not going to say any more about that. Check it out. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised how easy it is to use, and it's free. Free. Just like the video that I played last night about TurboTax. One other thing I'll mention before we kind of get into the meat of what I wanted to discuss tonight is to say the way that we are able to go live on 7 platforms. So, well, I shouldn't say platforms, 7 destinations, multiple platforms. Simultaneously is through using StreamYard. So StreamYard is also something you can start out free. You can keep a free account forever. It has certain limitations, but the free account is very capable. That link as well is in the description, but it's strammel.info/StreamYard. And if you decide to, at some point in time, switch to a paid account, you'll get $10 off of your first month. Excuse me, I seem to get all congested up and everything when I just decide to go live. It's not been a problem all day long, but that is the beauty of going live. So what I wanted to ask, like I said, I was going to kind of do some of these in the form of a question. If you have a business, I want to ask you tonight, do you have an online offer? And I'll discuss briefly why I'm asking that. I think we all saw that, and it's still the case with the with COVID and the way people have been having to stay home. People have been transacting business much more online. I was looking at the statistics of one YouTube channel, for example, and their channel increased in views, in subscribers, all the main metrics. Actually, it doubled because people are watching more videos. People are spending more time at home. And I have to believe that trend is going to continue even once we get to what we would consider something normal. People are going to get used to doing that. A lot of people have accepted that as being something that's just kind of a new norm for them. I personally like getting out as much as I can, but nonetheless, online marketing, online sales, e-commerce, all of those things have gone to new heights, and for no other reason than to have diversity and to have multiple streams of income. My recommendation is, if you don't have an online product, a physical product, or some type of online service, then it's time for you to think through that and see what you could come up with. So let's use an example. Let's say that you're a welder. Let's say you build fences. I love welding. We've had welders come and build some fence for us, and it's amazing what they can do. But it's also probably the case that their business maybe has suffered some. Now, if you as a welder were to start a YouTube channel and then also start a subscription service where you had very detailed videos on how people could do welding, those that maybe have the equipment but just aren't quite as accomplished as you, then the knowledge that you could share would have value. I'll give you 2 examples that are not welding examples, but I just watched a video about a guy that is a wood turner. In other words, he turns, it's called turning. He takes a stump from a tree or plastic, epoxy, any number of things, and creates a bowl, a plate, a number of different types of things from a lathe, and turns that into an amazing piece of art. Now, this was a guy that was selling his art pieces in an art gallery, and then he started dabbling with YouTube. One thing led to another, and not only was he getting more business and being able to sell not only in physical galleries, but selling his products through Etsy and various other online platforms, he was finding that more and more people were watching his videos, and he was getting, for him at least, a significant amount of revenue every month for ads. So that was one thing. Also found that people were really enjoying his videos and wanted to learn how he was making the product that they were buying from him. So he found that doing those videos actually increased his sales because in his mind, and I think it's probably true, that people resonated more and were really enjoyed buying something that they had some sense of how it was made, got to see how it was made. That's one. Another one is a man that makes countertops and other types of kitchen, like countertops, I guess I'll just say that, out of epoxy and that type of thing. He's now making $50,000 a month just in ad revenue on average, because he gained this following. People are watching, some of his videos, 4 million views, many of them 40, 50,000 views so far. And so, again, something that he in many ways stumbled onto, and, there's no reason that you have to stumble onto it. You can take advantage of the experience of others and hopefully get there faster. So I'm just saying that I'm encouraging people to consider the fact that they might want to diversify, take what they already know, or take something that you're interested in knowing, learn more about it, and then start doing videos about it. Your worst videos are going to be your first videos, so you are going to have to start. You're going to have to be okay with seeing things that are seeing your face, rewatching a video that you just absolutely hate, and it is the way that it is. And actually, to demonstrate that, it kind of came to me tonight. I thought I would demonstrate something myself and see how things have changed. I've recently been able to add some lighting to my studio. It's still not exactly where I want it, but it's leaps and bounds better, I think, than the way things used to be. I thought I would turn off all the things that I've added so you can see what it used to be like. And so I'm first going to turn, the latest light that I got is what's called a key light, and I don't even have it set up the best way that it could be. I literally have it just bouncing off of a wall right now, but literally a week ago I didn't have this light, and this is what it looked like prior to that. And I used to think this looked amazing, and although there's somewhat of a shadow and all that, I thought the background was cool, and yes, it is. It looks cool, but of course my face was not, easily seen. So now, I'm going to turn that back off, and if I turn off the purple background, now this is what you have. And I did a number of videos this way. And again, although it may be appealing to some, I think that what I now have with the background and with the other light, it's certainly more appealing. So start with what you have and just grow over time. The one thing I'll say with my channel, I'll use my own personal channel as another example. I have a YouTube channel that's approaching 6,000. That's very specific to a certain niche. But I decided, hey, I needed to start my own YouTube channel branded with my name. And so about 6 months ago, I started that, started trying to build on that. And by the way, if you're watching on Facebook, hello, Twitter, hello, Twitch, hello, YouTube, hello. Should have said that earlier. Thank you so much for watching. But regardless of what platform you're on, I would much appreciate if you'd come to YouTube and subscribe and turn on notifications there. That's where we're pushing to grow the most. All the platforms have their place, but YouTube is where we want to be the strongest. And so if you just go to youtube.com/Shane Trammell, that's Trammel, subscribe, turn on notifications. You'll know when we go live the next time, or when we post a video that we've produced offline and then uploaded it. We'd love to have you. We are growing slowly but surely. So we're at 321 or 322, I think now. Would love to have you come on over and join our YouTube community. But where I was going with that is actually just at 320. All the things that I just turned off and then turned back on the lights, those all came by way of me producing these videos. Had, a couple of different companies approach me and say, hey, would you review this product? Would you review that product? So I had already spent my own money on a camera to move beyond having the built-in camera on my laptop. I'd already went ahead and spent the coin, on a microphone, this microphone that you see in front of me. And so I had already, I'd already upped my game there, but I knew that my lighting was still honestly suffering, but lights can be expensive. I've found some budget options, and I'm not saying that what I was given was super, super expensive, but the light that I just added earlier this week, about almost a $400 light that I was able to basically get for free by reviewing it, by using it, by learning how it works. And that can happen for you. Again, let's say you're a woodworker. You could start reviewing tools and using the tools in a video showing someone how to make a cabinet or a bench or a chair, whatever it might be, a storage unit. You get enough views, you get enough comments, and then you interact with that community in those comments, and you're likely to have brands reach out to you, offer you free products, and potentially even, which is where we would like to be, not there yet, but have brands actually sponsor your videos. So you're a woodworker again, and let's say DeWalt wants to sponsor you. So in that case, they're paying you to do the video, and you briefly mention that DeWalt is sponsoring the video. It would be smart if you're using DeWalt tools while you're building whatever it is you're building in the video. And all the things that I mentioned earlier have the potential of growing with regards to maybe you have a subscription service where you have more detailed videos on how to make this project, that project. Maybe you are able to sell more projects that way, have more work. Maybe that also means that your business grows beyond just you. You get so crazy and so busy that you need to hire other people. So that's what I wanted to kind of draw out tonight, which was to say, hey, if you don't have an online presence of some sort, if you don't have a product or a service that you're selling and offering online, it's time that you should probably think about that. Another example is, let's say you're a restaurant. Many restaurants have hats, shirts, cups, glasses, all the things. Just need to not only have that in your restaurant, but market it to the public. So that might mean, honestly, that you redesign your logo, or you come up with some type of a secondary logo, something that is cool, attractive, something that people would want to wear, use, whatever it would be. So highly encourage you in that way as well. One other thing that I wanted to mention was this concept that I've been talking about, which is to, grow your influence, your impact, and your income. And I 100% believe that a big way that you can do that is to spend more time creating YouTube content that you can share. I did also do a little bit of research, and the average person, of course, some people can do what I'm about to say faster, some slower, but for the average person, it takes them about 5 years to get to 10,000 subscribers. Now, the fatal flaw in thinking here is at least two things. One is the fatal flaw is that people think that they can get there faster. Certainly your mileage may vary, but again, the law of averages suggests that it's 5 years, so they quit before they get to that 10,000 subscribers. Another fatal flaw or myth is to think that you need to get to 10,000 followers or subscribers, I should say, before you can actually monetize your channel, before you can actually make it anything that's worthwhile spending your time on with regards to a monetary future in it. Many people start a YouTube channel, first of all, because it's something they enjoy. It's a natural extension of what they're already doing. But if you have aspirations to, let's say, make YouTube crazy for some to think maybe, but a full-time job, or when I shouldn't even say a job, but in other words, a thing that you do that is able to support you financially. It's, not without its efforts, its troubles, and all that. Just like any good thing requires hard work, requires your effort, requires you to get better and better at your craft, as they say. But certainly consistency would be important. There are going to be times and seasons, let's say over a 5-year period, where maybe you can't be as consistent, but the reality is it takes 5 years for most people as well, because they don't have the time to do it full time. If you do, if you're out there and listening and you're outside of my normal demographic, which is 25 to 45 or so, but let's say you're in your early 20s, maybe even your teens, if you're watching this, start now, spend as much time on it as you can, and still be a normal human being. And, you're likely to get there faster than the 5 years. So, I'm going to end it with saying, if you've heard anything tonight that either encourages you, maybe you're discouraged for some reason, or if you have questions, if you have things that you would like to hear more about with regards to YouTube, email marketing, growing your business, gaining more reach with social media, getting the attention that you need, let me know in the comments. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know where you're listening from. I'd love to hear if you're watching live, if you're watching the replay. I just want to hear from you. I genuinely want to build this community, and I am, if you were to go and join some of the Facebook groups that I'm in that are many of them technical in nature, or maybe they're, business oriented in nature, I think you would see me all over there answering people's questions, sharing input, trying to, do my part to bring value to people that are trying to solve problems. So, I'd love to see that be here in this community. So, no questions, a dumb question, as they say, except for the one you don't ask. I don't always maybe present myself in the best possible light, but I've spent over 25 years working with Fortune 500 and Fortune 100 companies. I don't brag a lot, but I guess my point is, thankfully I've had a lot of exposure to a lot of different types of businesses at the C level, as they say, CEO, CIO, CTO, all of the C's, and directors, and just, the people that make it happen every day as well. So from the, the bottom of the ladder, if you will, all the way up to the top. So I've been exposed to, businesses trying to grow, businesses trying to solve problems, businesses trying to pivot and shift, knowing that if they stay where they're at, they're going to become irrelevant. We're going to become a blockbuster, for example. So I'd hate to see that for you. I don't presume to be, someone that just can, snap and I've got everything solved for you, have all your answers. But what I know I can do is I'm a problem solver, and it's kind of what makes me tick is, okay, there's a problem, knowing there's a problem, and then working through trying to find a solution. So I would love to be able to interact with you more in the comments. Again, let me know what you'd like to hear about in the days ahead. I celebrated 24 years of marriage with my wife yesterday, and the main reason I'm mentioning that is we are going to spend some quality time here in the next few days, and so I'm still going to do my best to not miss a day. Going to go 100 days straight, but I may not actually be on all the platforms and all the channels. So again, I encourage you to go to YouTube. The one place that I'll try to be consistent is YouTube. So if you go to youtube.com/Shane Trammell, subscribe there, turn on notifications. If you would share this video, like it, comment, that would be amazing. Everyone knows that that's the way that our message gets out to more people. As the more engagement we have, the more reach we get. So, but if you're a business owner, I don't care what kind of business you own, or if you're looking into getting into business and you'd like to just have a sounding board, like to have some tips, let me know. Send me a email if you want as well. You can send the email to Shane.Trammell, Trammel, @me. I don't get a lot of emails at that email address. It's a newer one, so I'd love to see some emails coming in to my inbox there. Send me an email, even if it's just to say, hey, I've got XYZ business and it's been doing great, or maybe we've been struggling and would love to figure out a way to make it over this downturn. Whatever it is, we'd love to talk to you about it. But we're going to call it a night now. We're going to come back tomorrow for day 15, all the way through 100. And by the way, this will be the last thing, I promise. One of the other things that is common is needing to have about 4. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. I was just going to say 400 videos to get to 10,000 subscribers. We'll have definitely over 200 by the time we're through with the 100 nights straight of live stream. So thanks again. Have a good evening. Have a good morning. Have a good midday. Whenever you're watching this, wish you all the best. All right, bye.